Hello and welcome to a new episode of Score Sheet. Well, today it's going to be a recap of what took place in the past 7 days in the sports arena, and especially when it comes to the Egyptians' victories and medals outside Egypt, especially in the African Games taking place in Morocco. Until the moment, the tally is going up, and I think that it's going to continue the same way. But guess what? We are going also to tackle football on the national and continental and international arenas. Well, all this and more with my dear guest live here in the studio, but we are going to start right after the short break. Welcome back. Let's start, as we do have a lot of issues to speak about. And let me first welcome my dear guest live here in the studio, Marwan Shafii, our sports analyst and sports journalist. And we are going to start with, let us start with football, for example.
Okay.
Well, let's have a quick look at what's going on outside. It's a hot season. I think it's going to be a hot season for all the international leagues, La Liga, Serie A, Ligue A, Bundesliga. But let's have a quick look first at the Egyptian teams, trips or journeys on the continental level. Al Ahly and Al Zamalek, they're great in front of Itla Barra and Kedaha, respectively, of South Sudan and Somalia. Altogether 26-0, 13-0, 13-0, and both moved to the round of 32 in the African Champions League, and it was continued today with Pyramids in the Confederations Cup. Also, it was a 1-0 victory for the Egyptian side against Etoile de Congo, so congratulations to all our teams. But let's focus on a little bit Al Ahly and Al Zamalek, because with all my respect to the rivals, they are weak teams, and we are confessing that, we are admitting that, but it was, I think, a chance for both Al Ahly and Al Zamalek to try the newcomers, or to give some of the players who did not gain much confidence recently due to many reasons. But the hat-trick of Hussein al-Shahat, for example, the introduction of Ashraf bin Sharqi with Al Zamalek. I mean, there are other benefits we got rather than the victories in the two matches. Tell me your evaluation on this, and we are going to go from this to the details of the coaches and the coaches' dilemma taking place.
First of all, thanks for welcoming me here. It's a pleasure to be here. I guess I can't analyze Ahly's and Zamalek performance against the Kedaha and against Itla Barra, because those kinds of games are not giving me any kind of knowing how the teams will progress in the next season. Because when you're playing against a team in South Sudan, low profile against South Sudan and against Somalia, winning 13-0 in both games.
On aggregate.
And they asked the two games to be played in Egypt. This gives me an impression that both of those games won't give me an impression about how the whole season will go on. I also agree with you when you said that this could be a little bit more confidence for some of the players who didn't take a lot of minutes in the last season.
Yeah.
But when you come to Al Ahly, you will see in the first match with Lasarti, I guess the team played full team squad. Instead of like Mohamed Shinawi, only the player who was injured. But the whole squad, Rabia played, Hussein al-Shahati always played in the Egyptian league. Also, Walid Azaro played and he scored. With Mohamed Yusuf, when Lasati
Was sacked.
or was sacked or left Al Ahly club with Mohamed Youssef, I guess he wants to give more chances for the players he trusts, like Salah Mohsen.
Yeah.
Salah Mohsen is a very good striker. All the football fans and all the analysts think that Salah Mohsen will be the greatest striker in Egypt in the upcoming years. And he proved that. He scored like hat-trick, I guess, or 2 goals.
Two goals. The hat-trick was
Hussein
Shahat.
Also Ahmed Sheikh when he played.
What was his name? Diagan?
Aliou Dieng. Aliou Dieng.
Dieng.
Yeah, the newcomer.
This is a newcomer.
Yeah.
And to be integrated or to have this harmony among the players, it's the responsibility of the coach. More than anything else. So including him in such games, maybe because it's considered as a friendly or something like this. So there is no pressure.
Yeah.
Do you think so? Or do you agree with me on that?
I agree with you. Like every newcomer player, he has to get minutes day by day.
Yeah.
He has to play like week in and week out, like they do in England and Spain. When you bring Aliou Dieng for the first time, he only played like 8 minutes or 9 minutes in the last game. But I had a good impression about this play. He will be very important for Al Ahly in the center midfielder.
We all hope so.
Yeah, because one of the main problems for Al Ahly in this position. Sometimes Hamdi Fathi injured. Ahmed Fathi now is not like Ahmed Fathi. The one
before
we used,
we are talking about 34+ player by all means.
Yeah, and he always play on the right back.
Yeah.
He doesn't play on the center midfielder
Ahmed
anymore.
Fathi, whenever he's fit, he's fit. He's the joker, as we are calling him. He can move from a position to the other. But now the case.
That's not anymore.
Yeah, it's not the case anymore. And this is normal, by the way.
Yeah, it's normal. Amr Soulaya is a little bit likes to play in the offense. He doesn't do any like defense tactics. So when you bring a player like Aliou Dieng to be a center defensive midfield, we cannot make an assessment for this player in a game against the
like
Tabara.
that. Yeah, sure. Amen to that.
So maybe next season we will have another.
A yes or no question before we go to Zamalek.
Yes.
Time for Walid Azhar to leave.
Yes, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah. Marwan, when it comes to Al Ahly and to studying many CVs and to media reports speaking about this name and that name, this is another issue. And I don't know, preferring a foreign coach depending on what Manuel José did before with Al Ahly, I don't think that this should be the criteria of choice. And we all heard and read about consulting José. Is it going to be the Portuguese, a Portuguese coach, a German one, another one, a third option from Latin America? Tell me which is best, which is the the best option.
Okay, to be honest, I prefer for Al Ahly and Zamalek a foreign coach.
Okay.
In
the current period?
Especially in the current period, because when you talk about high-profile Egyptian coach, who you can say, Ahmed Hossein Mido, Captain Hassan Shahata, Captain Hossam Hassan, that's only the high-profile coach who can manage Ahly and Zamalek.
Hossam al-Badri, Tariq al-Ashri?
No, Hossam al-Badri in this period, I don't think he will go back to Al Ahly.
Okay, but
so
I mean,
he's not on the table.
Because what you're saying is already implemented or applied into the file of the national team.
No, I'm not
coach.
talking about the Egyptian national team. I'm only talking about Al Ahly and Zamalek.
Okay.
Okay, because Hossam al-Badri, he had a conflict with the President Mahmoud
No, I mean, do you prefer a foreign coach because of what you're saying, or because the mentality or the kind of players or this generation in Al Ahly and Al Zamalek in specific, they do need a foreign coach? I mean, they will not be able to cope or to perform under an Egyptian one.
Okay, let me explain this point.
Yeah.
In Al Ahly and Zamalek, in this period of time, with those players, high salaries and social media and all of this stuff, I think those players need a foreign coach. But when it comes to the Egyptian national team, you will have a great chances to choose another coach. You will have a chance to choose Captain Hassan Shahata or Captain Hossam al-Badri. But those two cannot be a manager for Al Ahly or Zamalek in the current period. So the chances to choose an Egyptian coach for Al Ahly or Zamalek will be between Captain Tariq Yahya, Captain Mohamed Youssef. That's only.
So Mohamed Youssef cannot continue as the head coach of Al
I don't
Ahly,
think so.
and he is going to return back to his position
No,
as
I don't
the
think,
second man in
no, I
the
don't think he
coaching
will
staff.
return to be the second coach anymore. Yeah, I don't think that. I think, to be
Let's
honest,
wait and see.
to be honest, if you want to bring a good coach, you have to rise up your money for this coach.
Amen to that.
$150,000 won't get you a better than Lasarti. You have to pay more to get a high-profile head coach with all his stuff.
Yep, amen to that. Micho, and the new coach for El Zamalek, and I think that this match against the Kedaha of Somalia was his first under his tenure. I don't know, many of the Zamalek fans are speaking about the return of Shikabala as if this is going to be the savior. Well, El Zamalek is going to achieve a lot when Shikabala is there. Okay, tell me about El Zamalek, the newcomers in El Zamalek, and the way Michu should behave with El Zamalek to get the best out of them.
I mean, till this time, I don't know why Gross sacked. To be honest, I don't know how a foreign coach who win a Confederation Cup for the first time for a club he didn't win in the last 12 years, and he be sacked for losing the league. But to be honest, I think that the only problem Gross made last season, the lack of rotation of the players.
Yes.
He only used like 13 players.
And that's it.
And that's it. And when you face some injured from Mahmoud Guinish, the goalkeeper, or Mahmoud Ala, or any other player who was injured, it was a massive problem.
Yeah.
He didn't use
As if he
Ayman
does not
Hifni.
have any alternatives.
Yes, he didn't use Ayman Hifni, he didn't use Madbouli, he didn't use Antar, he didn't use any player except Ferjani, Tariq Hamid in the midfielder, and Ahmed Said Zizou, Kahraba, Obama, and Khalid Boutaib as a solo striker. When you are a coach for Zamalek playing for Egyptian Cup, Egyptian League, which lasts forever, like 9 months.
Yeah, the longest season ever.
Yeah, for more than 9 months, I guess.
Yep.
And Confederations Cup from the 32nd round, I guess, till the final, and you only use 13 players, you will suffer from injuries, you will suffer from exhaustion from the players, you will suffer from lack of motivation from some players. So you had to put alternatives, and you have to use the substitutions to motivate your players, to motivate your squad, to motivate your 11 players on the pitch by using the substitute. This was his main problem, I guess.
Yeah.
With Michu, I guess the squad of Zamalek had a little more depth. When you talk about the summer transfer market, is one of the best. Murtada Mansour, he brought in like Onajim, Ashraf Ben Sharqi, Mohamed Abd Shafi returned back to Zamalek, Shika also is back in Zamalek, Mohamed Awad, Mohamed Boujab, like 10 new players, and they all are high profile players. They can play like starters. You won't be only on the bench. So I guess the main achievement Michu will have to do is next the upcoming days against Al Maqas in the Egyptian Cup, because I guess Michu in the last game he put himself into pressure too early when he went to the Zamalek fans, and he made like some things by his hand that we will win the cup and championship will be back to Zamalek. You don't have to put pressure on yourself from the first month.
Encounter and whenever it comes to the fans of Zamalek coming out from the defeat in or losing the Egyptian League, despite the fact that it was such 20 points or something at certain time, there was 24 points more than 20 points separating El Zamalek and the second in the ranking. So anyhow, we will see, because we cannot judge a new coach. I think we need 7 to 8 matches, or for example.
In my opinion, I guess we need a half-table matches, like more than 12.
At least to read, why I'm saying 7 to 8, because, for example, we do have a lot of coaches who, as you've kindly mentioned, preferred a certain or a decided squad from the beginning, and even their changes in the second half are just 20 minutes or something before the final whistle. I don't know why. I don't know why they do not read the match from the first half an hour and to decide what to do in the second half. In my humble opinion, this was a real problem, because one of the main pillars of achieving or grabbing the 3 points is to read the game. What are the weak points and what are the points of strength? Let's go to the international leagues and to Mo Salah, to what happened yesterday, and I think it's the full mark of Salah against Arsenal. Salah was never defeated by the Arsenals before. And as we were speaking before being on air, the second goal of Salah was a kind of a symphony played by the Egyptian king. Sir, do you think that this was expected and that they are going to continue the same way, or this season is going to be a little bit more difficult for Jurgen Klopp and his men?
I think all the season for Liverpool in the Premier League are just the same. They start this wonderful start, they gain a lot of points, they win week in and week out, and then the drop starts. Like what happened in the last season, they were 7 points ahead of Manchester City, and then they started to lose some points. Also, Jurgen Klopp made the same mistake what Gross made. He didn't use a lot of players in the rotation. He kept Shaqiri on the bench for a long time.
Shaqiri want to leave.
Yeah,
and I didn't imagine that he is going to announce that, but maybe because of what you're saying, lack of motivation. On the bench, a lot of time also when he kept on using the same squad, and when he reached the final stage of the Champions League, he has to play against Barcelona, and then he has to come back and play against like Everton in a Merseyside derby. So he lost a lot of points. He lost like 7 points. So I think in this season, Liverpool will be the strongest competitor to Manchester City. They will be the strongest competitor to Manchester City. But in yesterday's game, it wasn't expected that Liverpool easily win against Arsenal. I thought like it's an easy game for Liverpool. Like, 3-1.
Yeah, it's not only about the score. I mean, it's about the possession. I mean, like Liverpool was playing against, like, I thought they were playing against an under-17 team, not Arsenal, who made many transfer in the summer transfer market. They brought in Nicolas Pepe, David Luiz, also Dani Ceballos from Real Madrid on a loan. So I thought Arsenal will have a better shape than they did in the last season. But also Liverpool,
So why, in your opinion, Arsenal, despite being filled with stars in its squad, they did not perform well in front of Liverpool, or in general, I mean?
I guess there's two problems. First of all, Unai Emery tactics. I think they cannot fit with Arsenal. Second, lack of confidence.
This is it. This is what I wanted to hear. If you want to add anything about the Premier League before going to other leagues?
Yeah, I think that Manchester City also will have a great run this season. Despite their draw against Tottenham in the last game, they win today 3-1 against Bournemouth. And I guess Guardiola won't leave this competition for Jurgen Klopp easily. So I guess Manchester City is the strongest candidate for the Premier League. And Manchester City had the depth in the squad, a lot of players. They also brought in Joao Cancelo, they brought in Rodri. They still have De Bruyne, Aguero, Bernardo Silva, David Silva. So I think they are the strongest team, and they are mentally ready. Liverpool lack this mentality for winning the league.
Yeah. If you permit me, we are going to go to Morocco. Sure. Well, in Morocco, we're really doing great, and till the moment Egypt is on top of the medal rankings with more than 70. I think it's 77 medals right now, and 25 goals in different games. And to continue on what's going on there, and with the Egyptian delegation in Morocco participating in the African Games, we are very much delighted to have with us via phone one of the winners, Basmala, who won the golden medal in triathlon, and with Captain Ahmed Nasser, the head of the African Sports Confederations, in addition to being the president of the Egyptian, African and Arab Federations of Triathlon. Hello.
Hello.
Basmala, hi.
How are you?
Congratulations, dear.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me today.
Basmala, can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Hi.
Hello, Basmala. If you hear me, please raise your voice.
Yeah, okay, but I can hear you very well.
We are trying to reach Basmala from Morocco. Basmala is the Egyptian athlete, the star of triathlon, who clinched today the golden medal. Hello? Okay, I'm sorry for the technical difficulty, but we are going to try to get her once again, at least to say congratulations. La Liga? Real Madrid is suffering.
No, they're not suffering. I can't agree with this.
So what happened in the press conference yesterday, and why Zinedine Zidane was shouting?
Zinedine Zidane, when he talks in Spanish, sometimes he talks in some words he's not comfortable with. So when he talks in French, he makes his words more clearer than that, and he said that. Zinedine Zidane...
Are you telling me that he did not say, for God's sake, we cannot keep our sheen cleat after conceding a goal?
No. In those words, he didn't say that. I watched the whole press conference. Zinedine Zidane
It was
always on the same
mistranslated?
tone. On the same tone.
Basmala, are you with us once again?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, great. Basmala, congratulations, dear. Of course, we are very happy with every Egyptian who is raising the Egyptian flag, and because of you today, the whole world listened to the Egyptian anthem with your gold in triathlon. Expected, Basmala? I mean, you went there knowing well that you can clinch the golden medal?
Yes. Actually, yesterday I have got the gold medal, but the bronze medal today was much more special to me since it's a team medal. We all have worked very well to be able to achieve this. We didn't even expect it, but we did it.
As you know, dear viewers, we are trying to get Basma from Morocco, so the connection is not that good. But by all means, congratulations. We are watching this photo. This one in the middle is Basmala, and this is Mr. Ahmed Nasser. We are going to try to get them again. You were telling me, Marwan, that Zinedine Zidane did not mean to seem in front of the cameras as shouting, but...
Yes. Okay. When he talks about Real Madrid, there's two major things to talk about. First of all, the transfer market, and second, the return of Zidane.
Yeah.
The transfer market, I do think the transfer market of Real Madrid is good. It's not what the fans were hoping for. Like the fans were hoping for Mbappe, Hazard, Pogba. They were hoping for high-profile players in the major leagues.
Yeah.
But they end with Hazard, Jovic, Mendy, Rodrigo, Eder Militao, return of James, and I think that's good. So when you're talking about the squad now, I think the Real Madrid squad is now good. It's not like before when you have Cristiano Ronaldo, when you had another
Cristiano
players.
Ronaldo. I mean, it proved a day after the other that there are times, whether we agree or no, there is a one-man show. Not because of his skills only, but because of being a maestro. I mean, to know how to read and how to even with eye contact, to know well how to move the other players.
Cristiano Ronaldo's impact on Real Madrid wasn't only on the pitch. Cristiano Ronaldo, like, he scores every year like 50 goals.
Yeah.
But he also had a mentality and the spirit and
This
the
is
charisma. And the charisma to lift all the players. So Real Madrid now...
This is what I'm talking about.
Yes, of course, Real Madrid without Cristiano won't be Real Madrid with Cristiano, but they may be another team. They may be, we'll see another version of Real Madrid.
Yeah.
So I don't think Real Madrid from one draw, 1-1 against Valladolid is a major problem. It's only
not a major problem, but with all my respect, Valladolid or Balad Walid, it's not Atletico Madrid. It's not Barcelona.
Also Barcelona lost their first game in Bilbao against Athletic Bilbao.
Barcelona without Messi also, and they are saying that Barcelona is also suffering because of the injuries or the disappearance of some of the major ones.
That's what I'm talking
Until the
about.
moment, but as we speak, Barcelona is playing, and it's 5-2 for Barcelona, by the way.
Against Real Betis.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm talking about, like, if Barcelona won today, it will get 4 points.
Yeah.
Because they drew the first game and they were winning against Betis. Also, Real Madrid had 4 points, and we cannot make an assessment on Zidane's work from only the second game and the transfer market still till the 31st of August.
Yeah.
So anything can happen. Real Madrid could push Pogba, could sign Neymar, could go for Mbappe. Who knows? So I don't think Real Madrid
Neymar? Do you think Neymar has a chance?
Yeah, Neymar is on the table.
I know he's on the table, but I mean the mentality or the way of thinking of Zinedine Zidane. Do you think that he would try to get Neymar?
Zidane no,
I
but
doubt.
Zidane no, but
Zidane
Perez
no.
will. Perez will, because Zidane, when he was asked about Real Madrid and the transfer market, journalist asked Zidane, "You will be the only one who take decisions in the transfer market?" He told him, "In my home against my wife, I can take all decisions. So you want me to take all decisions for Real Madrid in the transfer market? It's impossible."
What
It's
about
impossible
Griezmann?
with Perez. Griezmann with Barcelona.
Yeah, Griezmann. I mean, you know, there are names who are doing great in their national teams, for example, and in some teams. But when they move to other teams, I don't know why they lost something. I don't know what it is. And I'm not speaking about Griezmann as an exception or that it was expected that he is going to make miracles or stuff like that. But how do you see Griezmann in Barcelona?
I don't think it was his right choice to go to Barcelona. Because in Atletico Madrid he was a superstar.
This is it.
He was the player. All the players who play the ball to get it to Griezmann, so he has only one job, to put the ball in the net. Now in Barcelona he has only one ball, to pass the ball to Messi. So it will be so hard. I guess without Messi, without Suarez in today's game, they are not without Suarez. I don't know. I guess Griezmann scored the first goal, but I don't know if he scored any other goals. So I do think that Griezmann took the wrong decision to go to Barcelona. I thought that he was going to go to Paris Saint-Germain, to Manchester United, those clubs. It will have high impact on the team more than Barcelona.
Yeah.
I think he chose the easiest decision to go to the same league, Spain, to a team who wins like every year. He wins like a Liga or a Champions League or a cup. But I do think that he won't be ever in Barcelona as a superstar.
This is it. We do have a phone. Mrs. Azza Al-Fouli?
Hello?
Hello, hi dear. We are very much delighted to have you, and when it comes to Taekwondo, you are our expert. Okay, Hidayah Malek, Radwa, Saif Isa, Abdurrahman, who else? We do have plenty of medals, mixed from golds to silver, but by the way, we were expecting more. When we have 4 silvers in one day, you know, I was not happy. I said 4 silvers, meaning that we qualified to 4 finals, and we lost them. I did not expect that from Abdurrahman Wael or from Saif Isa, for example. Tell me, how was it?
Hello?
Hello, Mrs. Azza, can you hear me?
I'm not very sorry. Can you call again? I'm sorry.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? It seems that we are suffering from technical difficulties regarding our phones today, but we were trying to get more from people who are there on the ground to speak about the Egyptian achievements in Morocco, but we are going to speak about all of them. 77 medals, 25 golds in different games. On top of the list are the swimmers. The swimmers really did great. And I think in all the races, freestyle races, butterfly, freestyles, 50 meters, 1,500 meters. I mean, Farida Athman, of course, it's her specialty, the butterfly, 50 meters, it's her gold. And she is all the time, as usual, breaking the records, and it was also her own records. Mazen Al-Amesh, Marwan Al-Amesh, Ali Khalafallah, Hania Moro, and the men team of swimming, they also clinched the golden medal in the 200 meter free style race. Our swimmers really did great. As I said, in all the races approximately, they grabbed many medals, and they returned back after grabbing all these medals for Egypt. So congratulations. Taekwondo, same story. And we are going to watch a day after the other the rest of the games. Triathlon, Basmala also clinched the gold. Our weightlifters, it's their turn this time. Today there was Hiba, and she clinched a silver for Egypt. the big names, the heavyweight names, Mohamed Ihab, Sarah Samir, they are going to play in the coming days. To all of them, congratulations, rather than the basketball players or team, rather than the handball teams, and we are going to follow up their achievements there. It's our duty, congratulations, to focus on them and to shed more light on their victories. To all of them, congratulations. Returning back to you, Marwan, and to continue with the international leagues, to have a wrap-up or a quick review. And we spoke about the English Premier League and about La Liga. Let's move to the Bundesliga, for example, and to the start of Bayern.
Okay. Niko Kovac. Bayern Munich, I guess they are suffering a lot of things in the Champions League because of the playing in the Bundesliga. They do not face a good competition from the other teams. The last season they had minor competition from Borussia Dortmund, and then they won Bundesliga easily, like they did every year. With Niko Kovac or Carlo Ancelotti, Jupp Heynckes, any coach, they will win the Bundesliga. But I think this year in the transfer market, when they brought in Lucas Hernandez with a club record fee, they paid like 85 million euros for a left back or a center back. He can play in both positions. Also Benjamin Pavard, he was so good in the World Cup with France.
Yeah.
And he's used to play with Stuttgart in the Bundesliga. I guess Bayern Munich will easily win this Bundesliga also.
But again, can we evaluate or can we say what you're saying, despite the fact that it's against Schalke? I mean, Schalke I cannot consider also a heavyweight rival when it comes to Bayern.
Yeah.
I mean, it was not against Borussia Dortmund, for example.
Yes, but when it comes to Bundesliga, there are not many good teams. Not talking about only Borussia Dortmund, maybe Wolfsburg, maybe Stuttgart. So
Schalke for Bayern Leverkusen.
So Schalke in those times, they are suffering. Yeah.
And in comparison to Bayern, I don't think that there's a big way to compare. But I mean, I think one of the main reasons or the main pillars behind what the Bayerns are doing or the Bavarians are doing is paying full respect to their rivals, whoever they are.
Yes.
They deal even with each match as if it is a competition in itself or a final. Or true? Or do you agree with me on this?
Yeah, I agree with you on this, because this is how you win points, and this is how you win La Liga. In any competition, in any country, you don't win the league or La Liga or Serie A by winning only the rival games. Real Madrid can't win La Liga by only beating Barcelona home and away. Yeah. If they want to win La Liga, they have to win against Valladolid, Betis, Malaga, home and away, week in and week out. Also about Bayern Munich, they won't win Bundesliga if they only beat Borussia Dortmund.
If we focus once again or take La Liga as an example, you know, Barcelona and Real Madrid focus on La Liga, but Atletico Madrid focus on the Copa del Rey. You know, there are teams who are focusing on the league because it's their own specialty.
Yeah. and also Real Madrid are focusing on Champions League.
I mean,
they favored.
And because of this. When I was asking you about Jurgen Klopp and his man and about if this is going to be a tough season for him or no, because he is asked and he was asked that frank and that clear by the management. Okay, focus on the English Premier League. Now we tasted the glory of the Champions League, so this is okay. Put it aside now and focus on only one target. We do not want even to clinch this title once again. We want to have the English Premier League and focus on this and this alone. I don't know how this can be justified.
They are dreaming of winning the Premier League like for 20 years for now. Even Mohamed Salah last year, he said, my own dream is to win the Champions League. But for Liverpool, I hope to win the Premier League for them. So Premier League for Liverpool is like winning Champions League for 3 times in a row. Winning the Premier League will be the best achievement for this generation. Jurgen Klopp, I guess winning the Champions League is much harder than winning the Premier League. But the Premier League,
is it. I mean, he achieved the more difficult trophy, the more difficult victory. But the management of Liverpool now, and even Liverpool fans,
They never won.
Would you please forget all about this Champions League issue, and would you please focus on one target right now? For me, this was strange enough, weird, I mean.
Okay, but because they never won it. They never won the Premier League. So it will have its own taste to win the Premier League for the first time in the club history with those kinds of players. And to be honest, Liverpool won't have this generation anymore. Salah, Mane, Firmino, and also Jurgen Klopp on the sidelines. This generation won't be here anymore for Liverpool in the upcoming years.
Yeah, a bigger pardon, Marwan. We are going to try for the last time to reach Mrs. Azza. Mrs. Azza Al-Fouli, hello. Hello, ma'am.
Hello,
Mrs. Azza, when it comes to Taekwondo, as I said, you are our expert.
Thank you.
Ma'am, we achieved many medals in the world of Taekwondo in the African Games taking place in Morocco. But I was saying, despite the fact that it was great for Hidayah Malek and for Maysoon to bring or to grab the golds, but I was not satisfied with the silvers we had from the heavyweight names we have as Saif Isa and Abdurrahman and Radwa, all the others. Any justifications?
Well, it's not really justifications. I'm just going to explain the facts that we have here. We do have great champions, and I still view the silver medalists that we had, and even the bronze ones, as great ones, and they have done their best. But let me try to say something. Africa recently, since Rio, has really developed a lot.
Okay.
All the other countries around us have really worked so hard as well. They have participated in more championships around the years internationally. They have organized lots of national events. They have met and went to camps around the world. They have done a lot. So I'm not surprised that a country like Côte d'Ivoire to have reached the second rank, because I've been there and I've seen them training. Those champions have been training on the ground. They haven't been training on mats. They don't have equipment. They don't have even the uniform of the taekwondo. Those guys have really worked so hard. They have zero resources.
So it's our homework now to cope with this and to take into consideration what you're saying, because we do have the most talented and we're expecting from them a lot from now on.
Exactly, because the competition is really hard.
It's really hard,
Africa is not one of the easy continents at all.
Mrs. Azza Al-Fouli, thank you very much, ma'am, for your input. Thank you. Once again, congratulations to all our athletes who are achieving a lot, even as we speak, in the African Games. Well, Marwan, we are going to leave you with a promise to see you again in more episodes of Squash.
And congratulations for all the players in Morocco for those achievements.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, by this we come to the end of this episode of Score Sheet. We'll meet again same time on Nile TV International. Many thanks for watching, and once again, to all our athletes. By the way, I forgot judo, for example, despite the fact that they were of the first to clinch the medals, starting with Ramadan Darwish, and the rest followed suit. As we said, it's our duty, and we are going to focus on all their achievements. On behalf of Dr. Muhammad Rabi, Amr Fathallah, the staff of our Studio 35, and myself, Nirmeen Abdurrahman, many thanks for watching. Always and forever, with my love.